Now that is a fire, ladies and gentlemen. It is very windy today. They were calling for snow. We didn't get any. Thank God. Seems like the wind is trying to blow my house away. My shelter, for sure. I woke up and thought I was going to lose this tarp there for a few. Haven't lost it yet, thank God, because I'm not ready to replace it. I've been meaning to replace this thing. I actually, amongst a million other things I need to do, like work on the four-wheeler, work on the pickup truck. Oh man, country girl, she's ordered me all kinds of parts for the four-wheeler that are on the way. Oh, thank our Heavenly Father for her, because I would not be able to buy all this stuff right now, so that's a super blessing. Bought a distributor for the truck, amongst other things. Oil, filter. I have a leaky transmission fluid line that I gotta fix on the truck. It's just I keep adding fluid, just buying time. This thing, every time it rains, this thing leaks. So and before I put the new tarp on, I gotta put up more rafters, and I got a lot that I want to do to this. So I'm hoping my tarp ain't gonna blow off yet. Dang it, I ain't ready, man. I ain't ready. I'm trying to finish my cabin, and everything else is just trying to take me away from that. To actually do that, I actually want to take this tarp off of here if it don't rip today and blow off. It seems like it might be doing okay. This is actually a tougher tarp. I think this is 16 mil versus that tarp is 10. And I've been using that tarp for like a year now. We actually had that over our shelter at the campground. But I want to take that tarp off. Paper lady bought us this huge tarp right here. So this is actually a bigger tarp than this. So I want to take this tarp, put it on that, put this big tarp on this, and it'll actually cover the whole thing here. Like parts that it's kind of not covering, like that. So I got projects out the butt, man, that I can't even keep up with. So many things that I need to do. Man, worked my butt off milling yesterday. I was gonna mill today, but I ain't gonna be out in them woods with this crazy wind and get killed by a dang tree branch out there. So it's just cold, windy, and miserable as balls. I think it was like 30 degrees this morning. I think tomorrow or tonight and tomorrow morning is supposed to be like 20 degrees. It's gonna be cold. I just hope this wind chills out. I can handle the cold. This wind, this living situation I'm in right now, wind ain't good for this. But I have it framed up as good as I can. Trying to hold the fort down, literally. Check this out, Mark. This is this generator tent thingy cover. I thought it was a tent, but it's actually just kind of a cover. It's got like a little zip compartment here to cover it up, I guess, when it rains, and it unzips so you can fuel it up. Check this out, paper lady. Bad A generator. This thing is twice as big as our other one. Look at this, 10,000 starting watts, 8,000 running watts, electric start, which is freaking awesome. Compared to this one is half that, 5,000 starting watts, 4,000 running watts. The power kept cutting out on it. It needs a muffler. I'm still planning on fixing this thing up in the near future, because I'll be using this for stuff in the back once I start building the workshop and everything. The leaf fire situation. I think this is like I think it's been a week, 7 days, and I could still smell this thing this morning with the wind hitting it. So it's still actually hot in there, still smoldering a little bit 7 days later. Wow. Next time I have a pile literally that high, I know it's gonna take about a week. Man. Yeah, this pile was freaking huge. You couldn't even see past it. It was literally that big. It was just huge, like literally a big, huge pile of leaves that would have been over my head. So you can kind of see I got my trail back. Can't ride through it yet because I think it's still a little hot in there. I maintained it. I kept it pretty rounded up and safe. I definitely kept an eye on it. It's been like a week-long job while I've been milling and doing everything else. That's been on my mind the whole time. What am I gonna work on today? It's just windy and just kind of, I really don't want to do nothing but sit by the fire. But last video I was talking about my knee kind of hurting. Well, last night after I got done working, I could hardly even move my leg. My knee was hurting so bad, and I thought for sure it hurt so bad that I thought I was gonna be down for a couple days. That's what I was thinking. But I woke up this morning and it's fine. It hurts a little when I squat down on it, but not as bad as it was. I was actually a little worried that I wasn't gonna be able to walk much today. With the four-wheeler like it is, it's kind of a challenge walking firewood over here. So instead of getting firewood and stuff, I've just been pulling these things over here and burning them, and they're burning nice and hot too. So that log right there going out right there, the winds blew that thing up like a few times. I look back and the whole log is up off those other logs. It's just kind of loose there, but the wind's been hitting that tarp and picking it up. This is gonna look crazy when I put more rafter logs up here and put that thicker tarp on here. This is gonna be a sweet little shelter. I guess it's just kind of temporary. Just, you know, just a shelter with a little bit of love and creativity. It's way better than something you buy. I mean, that is cool, that garage, but the price you pay for it compared to like just a big tarp, and you can make it the shelter as big as you want it. Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot more work to this thing. Oh my gosh. Mental battles, man. Thinking about everything you want to do, but you just can't get to it yet. So you have to just wait and think about it. I'm always thinking about what I want to do, and like, man, I'm gonna put all these logs up here and these rafters up here, but then I'm out building a cabin and milling wood. Now I gotta fix a four-wheeler. I gotta change parts on the truck. Oh my gosh, just so much stuff that you're thinking about and trying to decide what you want to do. Like, oh my gosh, what do I need to do first? Probably the truck. Probably need to work on this dang truck. And the whole time I'm thinking about working on the truck or the four-wheeler, I'm wondering if my dang shelter is gonna blow away. So I put this post in the ground here. This tall post right here. I put it right here, and I'm planning on having another tree coming from that tree sticking out there, holding the tarp up all the way out to this here, and that's actually really tall. And then this, kind of like I did this one, I just have the post coming out to this post that I have in the ground here. Got my bird feeder hung up. I think Country Girl bought us some bird seed. So I cut this tree. I left it tall because I figured I might do something like this in the future. So I left that tree there. So I'll probably have another rafter come out and attach to this and come out a little bit. And then I'll have one coming from the top of that up to this to lock those together. And then I'll be creating a wall. And then this post here, I was thinking to do the same thing, have one come out to here. So basically I'll be extending my shelter out. So I'll have like another room out here. And then I'll kind of work out maybe how I want to do some walls here, like a fence, kind of like this fence. I kind of want to keep my fence going and basically fence in the shelter. So I left this big tree up so I could build a fence from this tree to this tree also, and it'll be connected to the roof. And then I'll have a tarp over this part, so it'll be a kind of a nice size shelter. And then I left this tree, then I put this post in the ground like, I don't know, so long ago, I don't even remember how long it's been. I mean, like probably 6 months or 8 months ago or something. I don't know how long. I want to do my fence out here also in the back here. I left that maple tree here tall. I'm going to do a fence around the whole shelter. So I probably do need to start working on this a little bit. I don't know if I want to today with all this wind, but I think I'm gonna be back to this. Man, I'm just, you know, you see how it is. You start thinking about stuff you want to do, but then I'm like, man, no, I need to rest up, save my energy so I can mill, finish this cabin. Don't get sidetracked. I think God's telling me to work on my roof. I think that's the hint I'm getting. All right, so I guess I'm gonna get motivated. I think God's telling me to work on the roof of my shelter here. The four-wheeler's down. I don't want to run it anymore like it is. I'm not gonna run it again until it's fixed. Country Girl, wow, what an angel. I don't know where she came from. Obviously heaven sent, because God sent. Because she just bought me all kinds of parts for that four-wheeler to replace, to troubleshoot this. And instead of just troubleshooting one thing at a time, I'm stator, I mean, all kinds of stuff I'm about to put on this four-wheeler. So that is freaking awesome. I'm about to walk over here and get my ladder. I got to walk around and chase tools for a minute. And while the four-wheeler's down, I'm obviously not hauling around 2x by hand. So all the wood's just going to lay where it's at until I can get back to that. So I'm going to work on a lighter project and start framing up this roof a little better. Holly and I are going to trade out these tarps. This tarp to that shelter and the big tarp onto this. And also me and Elion, we want to turn this over here to a garage type deal right here. We were thinking about turning this into kind of a living area, but I mean, we have the camper and we have the shelter and we're about to have the cabin. So I was thinking this would be a cool little four-wheeler garage for me and Elion. Put some gravel in here and we can drive through it. And then we'll have our cook area. We're planning on getting a bigger refrigerator. We're gonna put this refrigerator over in that shelter, so we'll have 2 refrigerators. Actually 3, because we have the one in the camper, but it runs off of propane, and it seems like it uses like a tank of propane like every week or less. But so we have to have like fresh propane to run that fridge, so we might do that occasionally, but probably not all the time, unless we got like a bigger propane tank or something. I don't know, but I'm not worried about that now. This is one pretty awesome ladder, but I tell you, that thing is, man, it's hefty. It's got some weight to it. I'm debating whether I should just go ahead and take the whole tarp off of this shelter and then start working on it. It's supposed to be like 20 degrees tonight, so I know I'm not sleeping out here. I'm gonna be sleeping in the freaking camper, all like 8 of us or whatever, cats, dog, and all 3 of us. We're all gonna be under some blankets trying to stay warm in the camper. Usually when it's that cold, you get frost all over everything, so maybe I should wait till tomorrow to actually take the top off. Then I think I have 2 clear days to work on this thing before any rain or anything's coming. That's what the weather says anyway. I mean, things can change. I want to focus on this roof. The room out here that I'm building, I'm kind of picturing this just an area I could possibly pull the 4-wheeler and trailer in here when it's raining if I want to. I could work on the 4-wheeler here. I could bring the tiller in here and work on it. Maybe even put a little bit of gravel down in here under this part of the shelter. That would be cool. I need rafters. I got to start tying all this together and get it to where it'll hold a tarp really nice and secure and stop it from blowing away. Kind of like this heavy log right here. This is a heavy log, and for the wind to be able to pick that up, that's pretty insane that the wind picks that up like that. And that actually happened over here a while ago. I had a rafter that's laying here on the ground. I had it up there, and the wind blew that tarp so much that it ripped the tarp and actually broke the screws off that were holding that rafter up. So them gusts of wind can be pretty crazy and dangerous. Last time it rained, right here, you see this black patch up here. Last time we got a heavy rain, it leaked from up there somewhere down some of these poles on right onto the freaking bed and got the bed soaked. And that's like the second time this happened during a rain, so I definitely want to switch these tarps and make this more weatherproof, because this tarp's about had it. And this tarp will probably get retired as a lumber cover, you know, a lumber tarp. You know, that way it can leak a little, but if it keeps the majority of the water off of it, that's cool. So that'll help me be able to cover up, you know, piles of wood or whatever I want to cover with it. So that's a huge, like 30-foot tarp right here. It is what it is. I think that's one of my favorite sayings in life. It just is what it is. If you can't control it, you can't really change it. You just kind of leave it up to God and just pray and hope that He opens up some kind of way. And so that's the way I kind of look at life. If you can't control it, it just is what it is. You just pray. And it's funny how things work out and God just, you know, gives you what you need and takes care of you. It's pretty amazing, especially when you're looking for it. You know, you want to do a project for so long, and then all of a sudden a storm comes or whatever, and then your 4-wheeler stops working, and then you just read the signs and you're like, I think you just used some obstacles to kind of give me time to do what I need to do before I get back into the other thing. You know, that's one thing. I try not to stress myself out so bad about this cabin and milling and finishing that. As bad as me and Holly really want to finish this thing, get it done, it's like you got to take care of yourself. You got to live your life. And when you're stubborn like me, I think God will kind of just put an obstacle in front of you to change your course for a little bit, you know, to take care of you. And I've noticed that a lot in my life. You know, he'll use Satan. You know, Satan might do something bad in your life and make something you depend on mess up or break. And really, you know, he thinks he's harming you, but God's like, well, you get you a nice break and you get to focus on something you've been wanting to be a kid and play on, you know, fix up your Tarp life shelter. You know what I mean? So I try to look at my whole life in a positive way, and every bad thing, I look for the good things that come out of it, because that's just how God works, you know. And God bless y'all. I'm about to seriously get on this thing, like right now. This is actually the next morning, and I am getting motivated. The sun's really nice. It was freezing last night, like 20 degrees. So we all cuddled up in the camper and stayed warm. And I got up this morning, cranked up the generator and turned the heat on for them to warm up the camper before they got out of bed. And anyway, well, I figured I'd just let y'all have this 20 minutes of just me talking, because I don't want all of this before any action. So I'm gonna let y'all have this little bit of just me reminiscing and talking and griping. I'm about to get to work. God bless y'all. Thanks for watching. We might have a roof on this thing in the next video, or at least have the roof off this thing and framing this thing up, putting some rafters up there, and see if we can have a good weatherproof shelter again. Let's get it in. Love y'all. God bless you.